Let's talk about the things you wish you could edit. The scar, the stretch mark, that huge birthmark, the crooked smile, the lazy eye, the body that doesn't fit the trends, the personality trait people told you was too much, your past mistakes that you replay at night. What if the parts of you that feel the most uncomfortable are actually the most powerful? We are telling the truth about ugly and why it might be the most misunderstood word in your life. From early on, we are taught that beauty equals value. Clear skin, symmetry, a certain body type, a certain skin tone, a certain level of emotional control. But beauty standards have never been stable and they are unreliable. If you look back in history, in different centuries, having a full and thick body was a symbol of wealth and health. Pale or light skin meant status. And then later, dark skin became fashionable. Not to mention eyebrows. Eyebrows were plucked out, thin. Then they became bold. Then they became natural. There are entire industries that are built on convincing you that what you have naturally is wrong. Something's wrong with it. And it's not just physical. We are also told that don't be too loud. Don't be too quiet. Don't be too emotional. Don't be too ambitious. Don't age. Don't show flaws. Don't fail in public. So we edit ourselves. We contour our faces. We filter our photos. We hide our scars. We shrink our personalities. And we smooth over the stories that shaped us. I know I've done it too. Trying to present the most polished, acceptable version of myself. As if approval was something earned through concealment. But here's the paradox. The more you hide what makes you different, the more invisible you become. You know, when I started this YouTube channel, I was a bit conflicted. There was a time where I asked myself, am I going to wear makeup in my videos or am I going to be natural? Because I love makeup, I use makeup. But then it hit me. I came to a realization that if I wear makeup, and I have to consistently wear makeup in every video, then I am robbing someone out there of the opportunity to see themselves in me. I have a very visible scar on my face, and someone out there also has a scar on their face. And when they come here or they come across a video on YouTube and they see me, they will feel seen. They will feel validated. They will feel like they can do what I am doing. It will give them confidence to be themselves. So I said to myself, sometimes I'll wear makeup, sometimes I won't wear makeup. It was a very tough decision to make. I know it sounds trivial, but it was a tough decision to make because the internet is constantly bombarding us with people who look perfect, people who fit the beauty standards. So me showing up with my natural face sometimes is my way of making other people feel seen. It's a way of discarding the shame that's attached to having imperfections. What if your differences are not design errors? What if they are design features? Your physical traits tell a story. The stretch marks are evidence of growth. The scar is proof of survival. The gap in your teeth, that's a signature smile. No one can replicate it. The body shape you try to diet away is your genetic blueprint. It's not a mistake. And even from a psychological standpoint, the traits we resist often shape how we move through the world. Someone who is teased for being too sensitive may develop exceptional emotional intelligence. Someone who felt different in their appearance may cultivate deeper empathy. Someone who didn't fit the conventional beauty standards may build identity around intellect, humor, or creativity, and they refine those strengths more intensely. Research on self-perception shows something really powerful. People who integrate rather than suppress their differences tend to experience stronger internal identity and resilience. And research on neurodiversity reminds us that people who have minds that are wired differently, those people often excel in creativity and pattern recognition. Your difference sharpens you. So the problem isn't the feature that you have, it's the shame that's attached to it. Now let's talk about the kind of imperfections no one sees in photos, like failure, rejection, embarrassment, making the wrong decision, being left. You might carry emotional scars just as real as physical scars. But scars mean something. Biologically, scar tissue is much stronger than the original skin. Psychologically, adversity often builds resilience when it is processed in a healthy way. You know, people who experience growth after trauma, those people, reports show that many of those people have increased strength, deeper relationships, greater clarity after all that hardship. Pain can really distort you, or it can define you in powerful ways. The rejection that crushed your confidence might have redirected you to something more aligned. The mistake that you regret might have built your discernment. The insecurity that you have about your body might have cultivated compassion for others who feel unseen. Nothing you survived was wasted. Now, let's talk about the advantage of authenticity. Because authenticity comes with advantages. These are things that we don't say loud enough. Perfect is forgettable, but real is magnetic. If you think about the people that you are attracted to, people you are drawn to, are you drawn to them because of the symmetry? Or are you drawn to them because of their presence? Confidence doesn't come from being flawless or having flawless skin or a flawless past. It comes from integration. When someone owns their scar, their age lines, their unconventional beauty, and their history, it shifts the energy in the room. It shifts their aura. Because you can sense that there's no apology in their posture. And people trust that. Authenticity creates connection because it signals safety. When you show up fully, you silently give others the permission to do the same. Like I said before, when someone comes and watches this video on YouTube, they might say, oh, she has a scar just like me. Wow, I didn't know someone could be so confident with the scar on their face. Your uniqueness filters your life. It attracts aligned relationships. It repels spaces that demand performance. It opens doors where your real self is the asset, not the liability. Okay, so let's talk about an action plan. I like to get practical, not just complain and complain without coming up with solutions. Let's do some exercises. Make it tangible. So exercise 1, we are going to reframe. Stand in front of the mirror. Okay? Stand in front of the mirror and choose one physical trait that you have criticized about yourself. And instead of asking, how do I fix this? Start asking, what story does this tell? What has this body carried me through? What would I say to a friend who had the same feature? Your body is not your enemy. Exercise 2, imperfections. We're counting the imperfections. We're taking inventory of them. Write down 3 personality traits that you have labeled as flaws. Write down 2 past failures you still feel ashamed of. And next to each one of those, write this. How did this shape my strength? What skill, awareness, or depth did this build? I want you to be very honest with yourself. And then exercise 3, ownership, public ownership. Share one imperfection openly with a friend in a conversation, or if you're brave enough, in your stories on Instagram or as a caption. You know why? Because power grows in exposure, but shame thrives in secrecy. Ugly is often just a word we use for something we haven't learned to honor yet. Your body, your mind, your past, your intensity, your softness, your difference. They are not detours. They are not a deviation from who you are meant to be. They are the architecture of it. So instead of asking, how do I become more acceptable? Start asking yourself this. What becomes possible for me if I stop hiding? That's a powerful shift. And if this resonated with you, I want to know, what's one so-called flaw that you are beginning to see differently? Because your story might be someone else's permission to finally stop apologizing for existing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you, and I will see you in the next one.